Hello, brothers and sisters. Nagaseni, Salamat, Can Yaikl. Thank you very much for inviting me to speak to you at your Eri Can Yiakl Congress. My name is Ahmed Youssouf Mohamed. I'm the president of Eritrean Afar National Congress, the EANC, and I'm also a member of Eritrean community here in Ottawa, Canada. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge that I'm speaking to you from the unceded traditional territory of the Algonquin and the Anishinaabe First Nations of Canada. As new Canadians, we came to learn how democratic nations like Canada values and respects Indigenous people. And my hope is one day in our native land, Eritrea, follow the democratic systems such as Canada. Thank you. And when I want to convey, first of all, my message of solidarity to all of you at the leadership of Yaikl Canada, to your delegates, and to all the grassroots supports, to those who are committed to building up a diaspora Eritrean movement for democratic change in Eritrea. Just over a month ago, I had the honors to speak to Yaikl Congress USA. During my presentation, I briefly spoke about our commitment as Eritrean Afar Nation to join hands with the Yaikl USA. I'm extending that solidarity and brotherhood and camaraderie, and to work with you and much closer in Canada than the US. And I spoke also at that Congress about our fight for democratic transition, building a united front against tyrannical regime and the PFDJ regime in Eritrea. I also spoke about our vision for building a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-religious federation based on rule of law, protection for the rights of all of our people, and equality in the diverse nations of nationalities of Eritrea. My friends at Yaikl Canada, as you may know, these are very challenging times for our democratic opposition and for those who are in diaspora, and but more importantly, those who are left in Eritrea, inside Eritrea, in across the region. I am sure you are following the current situation in Tigray closely, as I have been, after witnessing the 2019 peace agreement between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Everyone in the world expected the new beginning for the region in terms of stability and peace and growth to be much better than what we are seeing here today. Eritrean tyrant in Asmara is back in the mix again, creating havoc in the region. The tyrannical regime is at the center of the conflict between Addis Ababa and Mekelle right now. In fact, we are hearing there are troops that unconfirmed report of hearing Eritrean troops are crossing into Tigray region inside Ethiopian territory. This is a regime that thrives in hostilities, war, bloodshed at the cost of innocent Eritreans. We know the result of the wars firsthand as immediate border communities. The war, the hostilities have displaced thousands of our Afar people, and close to 50,000 of our refugees are currently at the border as we speak. During the war of 98 to 2000, the war that Afwerki created, by the way, we have lost thousands of our people have been displaced from the border communities. The border regions have never been recovered from that loss, and we have actually lost relatives who were kidnapped at the gunpoint by Afwerki's men and murdered unjustly because Eritrean military has falsely accused them of being the enemy's sympathizers. Similar atrocities were committed against the Kunama people and all over the border communities between Ethiopia and Eritrea. These are crimes that we have not forgotten. No one wants to see another escalation of war in our region between Tigray state and the government of Ethiopia, especially for those of us who are concerned with our refugees located at the border regions. In fact, this is also was supported comments from international communities who are urging the two sides to be restrained and not get into full-fledged war. As the war between Addis Ababa and Mekelle rages, we are hearing a troubling report we had suspected all along that the Afwerki regime is now in discussion with his military advisors in the inner circle about the sovereignty of Eritrea. My friends at Yaikl Canada, we need to tell Sha'biya regime that Eritrea is not for sale. Eritrea is a sovereign nation with its unique history, long established dreams and aspirations of its people. For over 60 years, thousands of Eritreans have lost their lives to make Eritrea realize its independence as a sovereign nation. We need to tell the dictator that he is not the owner of Eritrea, that the bloodshed and the sacrifice of our brothers and sisters is not something that he can play with. The irony of this Eritrean regime is that in the past 30 years, it has been propagating and telling us that Ethiopia was about to get Eritrea, and the fact that the Eritrean regime has built its identity on conflicts with Ethiopia, telling the international community and telling Eritreans that they have to die and sacrifice for the sovereignty of Eritrea. In fact, today he is telling Eritreans that all of your sacrifice, all of your bloodshed over thousands of our men and women that lost their lives, that this did not mean anything, and that all of a sudden he had a change of heart, saying that Eritrea belongs in the confines or in the federations of Ethiopia. This is a tragic situation that is developing. All these years, almost 500,000 young Eritreans fled the country. Many have died on the way to freedom. The entire generation of Eritreans have been lost. The country was kept under the dark by from the engagement from the international community. Dear friends, the 2018 peace agreement have exposed the nature of the Eritrean regime. This is not about peace building, but it is selling off the sovereignty of Eritrea and creating conflict within Ethiopia while claiming the name peace building or engaging with Ethiopia. The Eritrean regime thinks by doing so it will extend its political life in Eritrea. We need to fight these new threat against our sovereignty. My friends at Yaikl Canada and beyond, we as Eritrean opposition groups, we need to be alert to these circumstances. We need to join our hands how to defend our sovereignty and our territory from being dragged into unwanted war and conflicts in the region. My friends at Yaikl Canada, another thing I want to bring to your attention is the state of our refugees caught between these border areas in the Tigray and the Afar region. These are the refugees that you had supported in the past. We are now hearing those refugees are even more vulnerable to the new reality of war in Ethiopia. And many of these refugees are fearful of long hands of Eritrean agents. In the Afar camp alone, there are 50,000 plus Eritrean Afar refugees. Since the camps were established over 10 years ago, there has been an average of 5 daily deaths because of malnutrition and lack of proper medical care in those camps. These are tragic situations of our people in refugee camps. These people did not have to die 70 kilometers away from their traditional coast, the Red Sea coast, where their land and properties are taken by this Eritrean regime and illegally sold to people like Kululi Parash corporations and to the foreign powers like the United Arab Emirates. We have the responsibility to protect brothers and sisters. The well-being of our refugees need to be our priority as we come together in congresses like this and try to unite our opposition forces. The other thing I want you to leave you with quickly is the building process of Eritrea beyond the current regime. As the opposition groups, our future democratic process cannot afford to wait until the fall of the tyrannical regime in Asmara. We need to work closely, as I mentioned before, on our future democratic transition and building trust among our groups. As opposition groups, we have been trying to bridge the gap of understanding among the opposition forces on what type of constitutional reform, type of governance, land and land rights and refugee rights, and the importance of multiculturalism and diversity and respect for human rights. As Eritrean Afar leadership, we have the roadmap that will bring our opposition groups closer to working with one another, understanding each other's grievances, working on a common interest and protection of the Eritrean sovereignty and territorial borders that is under threat as we speak. As Canadian Yaikl leadership, you have shown your capacity to mobilize young Eritreans, raise funds, and bring every diverse Eritrean groups together. Once again, congratulations to Eri Can Yiakl, Eritrean Canadian Yaikl movement. We are working hand in hand with our communities to advance the common goals for our common struggle for democratization of our homeland, Eritrea. We are part, we are part of Ottawa Yaikl movement here in Ottawa. We will continue to do so in our capacity. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you and the urgency of working together in collaboration and the points I raised are something I want to leave you with. I look forward to working with you all and job well done and at your Congress. Congratulations once again. Thank you very much.